Hey fam, so I'm coming back to you after I had to get some actually work done today. I was telling you that, as we have been spending the most of this week uh, with regards to the shootings and, just the peeling back the scab off of all of the police shootings that have not been addressed in the United States all over the country. I'm sure that everybody is up on the news because I don't need to tell you how many states are in protest, how many states are probably in about about 15 minutes. Most states will be on lockdown. And so even though they're not all calling it a martial law, it is probably more so in Minneapolis and in California because they actually have the National Guard there waiting for any uprising. Now, that is going to be a source of an issue if, in fact, the National Guard has to start using deadly force. So we want to keep on it. So I don't want to be on as this starts to pop off because I'm sure that there is going to be some popping off. But this is one of the things that I'm going to ask you because I have guys, I'm on the internet. I'm pretty much on every site there is, black and white. It was. Do you notice something very, very suspicious? What is the first thing that you see when you hear someone has been arrested? The first thing that you see when someone has been arrested is their mugshot picture. They flash that mugshot picture across the scenes so that we can see for sure that a person has been arrested. Now, this is, so I found a sister on my YouTube page, and I linked in with her. She actually lives in Minneapolis, so she's like me. She's on the social distancing and doing her thing on the internet, so we kind of connected. Now, Chavez's wife she looks like she may be Asian or something to that effect. She has immediately filed for divorce. So I don't know what was going on in her house, but this is the strange thing. Now, up until we heard, now we don't have no proof that this man has been arrested. We have not seen no mugshot, no fingerprints, no nothing. I've been searching the web for a mugshot photo. Now, maybe y'all find one, y'all can send it to me because I haven't seen it. More importantly, his house was being protected by armed police officers up until they allegedly said that he got arrested. Now, based on the sister that I have been in contact with, she said that not only is he not in his house is completely empty. I mean, no furniture, everything is moved out of the house. And the reason why you know that, because people have been able to go as close to his house as spray paint on his house because there is nothing in his house. Now, the information she received, and maybe we don't have one proof of it one way or the other, is that they got him up out of the state of Minneapolis. Now, if that's the case, we got some issues. Now, we heard that it's a $50,000 bond. Now, $50,000 bond ain't no money on nobody's life. Now, I told you my perspective of what I saw from the first day. They're just now confirming today, even though I told you this the first day, that an officer was on his legs, an officer was on his back, and Chavez was on his neck. Now that we know who all these people are. Tao was standing guard that nobody could intervene. Now, this is starting to get more and more strange. Now, I am looking, because all Trump knows is Antifa, Antifa, Antifa. This is Antifa. Well, does Trump know that white people ain't in Antifa? I mean, we're looking at this crowd. We see that most of the people out there are white. In every single state, they are if not more white, mostly white, or 50-50. I have not seen one protest, not even in Brooklyn. Maybe Newark. But they didn't do too much fighting in Newark. They did a whole lot of marching and speaking. But these groups are mostly white. When you get the Amish, the Amish don't have TV, they don't have radio, they don't have internet. The Amish is out there with signs on racism, because you know the Amish, they've had issues with people trying to get all up in their business because they got 3, 4 wives and you know all that kind of stuff. So look, when the Amish come out of their seclusion to come in to support you, come on, Trump, bro, this is no. But this is what I want to tell you. Remember, I told you earlier today that I was getting a call because there was a shooting that someone had called to my office, and I just got I got the message about a Maurice Gordon, 28 from Poughkeepsie. He was shot on May 23rd on the Parkway at 6:30 in the morning on the Bass River Plain. Now he's on the Parkway. I'm thinking, okay, that's the case that they were talking about. No, there was 2 people shot. He was shot at 6:30 a.m. by police. At 1:10 a.m., Christopher Clark from Patterson was shot. Now, and he's 26. Now, I thought it kind of strange because at first they were telling us on the information that I had received that Maurice Gordon, although he's a New York resident, he was allegedly shot on the Parkway. But then they're going to start telling you about it because it was in the Parkway. It's in the county of Patterson, that particular area was a high crime area. I didn't know what the hell that had to do with him being shot on the Parkway, because the Parkway is not like a community stop right off of the highway. There's nowhere you come off the highway right into a community. So that just didn't make any sense. So it was 2 people shot by police on the New Jersey Parkway on the same day, on the 23rd, last Saturday. That I'm just getting information from my office, and it's a Christopher Clark, 22, and a Maurice Gordon, 28. Christopher Clark is from Patterson, and Maurice Gordon is from Poughkeepsie. Now, this is one of the issues that I want you guys to stay up on. Trump keeps talking about Antifa. I don't know if that's the only organization that he knows, but this is what I want you to know. The New Jersey Office of Homeland Security has prepared a boost on the threat level from white supremacy group from moderate to extremely high in 1 year, okay? The new report was released on Friday. It has received dubious complaints of homegrown violent extremists, and these are white supremacists. They comprise mostly of members of neo-Nazi group, but it's 24 different groups that are coming to light. So I said, while he only knows Antifa and one organization that he might think that is going to be a harm, this is what I need y'all to know about. I need you to know about who these white supremacist groups are, that they're spending so much time on us. We don't even know who they are. So it's a bunch of them, y'all. So I'm going to ask you to just give me a little time. I don't want to go through. You got the white nationalists, also called the pale conservatism, anti-intervention strand of libertarianism, whatever the hell that means. They are headed by some guy named Richard Spencer, Jared Taylor, and Peter Bremlow. Okay. Jesus, it is so many. Of course, the alt-right that came out in 2015. That's a white nationalism group. That's more of a recent formation. The neo-Nazis have been around since the beginning of time. The Ku Klux Klan, the neo-Confederates. Those are the ones that he's putting on the Supreme Court. The neo-Nazis, the racist skinheads, the Christian Identity Group. Those are all white nationalist groups. Now, I'm going to go down this list of white. These are already categorized by the government. This is the white man list. This ain't the Kwasi. This is the white man list of groups that we need to look out for as of now. The affirmative right. Now, the affirmative right is a group out of Atlanta, Georgia. You got the alt-right. The alt-right is incorporated actually in Alexandria, Virginia. Then you have the American Freedom Party. They are in Florida, Texas, Los Angeles, New York, Indiana, Montana, North Dakota, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. And then we get the next group is the American Renaissance New Century Foundation. They're in Oaktown, Virginia, in New York, and the White This is called the Auburn White Student Union. That's actually at a university. This is at Auburn University in Alabama. They got a white supremacist group that is recognized as a actual group on their school campus. So when your kids go to that school, you need to know that. The Conservative Citizens Foundation, Inc., that's in Blackwell, Missouri. Council of Conservative Citizens out of San Francisco. Faith and Heritage. So they cloak themselves behind churches. That they're in Keelan, Texas. All right, girl. This is Jersey, y'all. Jersey. Forza Nova. FORZANUOVA. They're in Trenton, New Jersey. The Foundation for the Marketplace of Ideas. They're in Clinton Township, Michigan. Free America is in Big Spring, Texas. Free Star is in Carson City, Nevada. The HL Mitken, MENCKEN Club is out of Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania. Now I'm gonna put these all up on my page so that you can get them. It's just a whole bunch. Now, I think if any of you follow me consistently, you know I told you about the Identity Europa. Identity Europa is actually a fraternity on just about every campus of every university, cloaked by suits and ties. They were out and out attacking Black students on the Columbia campus right in New York City. But the Europa, they're damn, I don't even know why I'm going to list out here because it's damn near everywhere. Atlanta, Montana, Colorado, Chicago, they're in Denver, specifically Colorado Springs, Gainesville, Florida, Indianapolis, Indiana, Lakewood, Las Vegas, New Orleans, Redding, California, Salt Lake City, Utah, San Diego, San Francisco, Savannah, Georgia, Seattle, Spokane, Washington, statewide in Arizona, Arkansas, Connecticut, Kansas, Kentucky, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma. Damn, yes, everybody. Well, so Identity Europa is everywhere, yeah, even in Washington, D.C. Okay, so let's just give them everywhere. And it's EVROPA, Identity Europa. These are all white supremacist groups that are listed by the FBI, that the government is aware of. Because all while you hear this fool talking about Antifa, these people are in the midst of the provocateurs that I keep telling you about. Don't think that everybody out there, all those white folks out there, are in the best interest of Black folks. They are the sister that I was talking to. She had a picture of the first brick that went through the Target. That was one of those guys I told you was an all black with the black mask. See, they get different angles if you're actually in Minneapolis. Then you have the National Policy Institute. That's out of Whitefish, Montana. These are all of these cloaked and these sound like very patriotic names. The Patriots they keep telling you about. The National Right, that's in Jackson, Maine. The New Albion, ALBION. That's another group in Jacksonville, Maine. I don't know about this place up in Maine. See, Maine act like they don't be doing squat. Y'all got two racist groups up there. The National Right and the New Albion. Now you have the Northwest Front. They're in Bermonton, BERMERTON, Washington. And the Occidental Descent. I've never heard of that. And I've never even heard of this place. It's in Alabama. And EFULA, which sounds very African, EUFAULA, the Occidental Descent. I don't know what Occidental Descent is. Maybe we need to check that out because we have a university called Occidental. So the Occidental Descent is in Alabama. Occidental Observers are in Langula Hill, California. Now, the Occidental Quarterly. Now, Occidental University is in Washington. In California. So we got to figure out who the hell with this Occidental group. They call the Occidental Quarterly. And it's head by a guy named Charles Martel Society. They're in Atlanta and every damn state listed. So I'm not going to go through all of the states because they're everywhere. And they go by the Patriot Front, even in Washington, D.C. They even have their own flag that they fly. The Pioneer Little Europe Kalispell, Kilispell, and they're out of Kalispell, Montana. The Racial National Party of Americans out of Lockport, New York. The Radic Journal, that's another one out of Whitefish, Montana. The Real Republic of Florida out of Tallahassee, Florida. Red Ice out of Harrisonburg, Virginia. Right Brand Clothing out of Anaheim, California. Rise Above Movement at Huntington Beach, California. Scott Township Publishers. So these are the people that publish racist information. That's in Washington District of Columbia. Shield Wall Network out of Mount View, Arkansas. And also out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Now that's a different name. Murfreesboro. Murfreesboro. Okay, Tennessee. All right, we have the Shield Wall Network out of Boston, New Boston, Texas. Social Contract Press is another right-wing news out of Petoskey, Petoskey, Michigan. Stormfront out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Now, they continue to say Europa. I mean, they continue to say Antifa. That's all they say. Do you ever hear any of these groups? These are all published, known to the FBI, white supremacist groups in the United States. And I ain't even halfway finished. The political cesspool. Now, that's interesting. They come up out of Bartlett, Tennessee. The Right Stuff. The Right Stuff is in damn near every state. Now, I'm just showing you. It's on my phone. You can't see it. That's why it looks white. Yeah, you can't see it. It's the whole page. It's the whole damn page of this, the Right Stuff. Now, the True Casadea, Casadia. True Casadea. They're out of Portland, Oregon. Tri-One Security, that's another one. Alexandria, Virginia, y'all got a lot for that because that's a very blue area, Alexandria, Virginia. Unity and Security for America, they're out of Charlottesville, Virginia. The Vandell Brothers, LL, so that's the LLC, they even incorporated. They're in Bath, Ohio. Videer Foundation in Warrenton, Virginia. The Washington Summit Publisher, that's another racist paper. And the White Boy Society, that's real, they got real fancy on that one. They're in Illinois and Wisconsin, and the White Rabbit Radio in Dearborn Heights, Michigan. These are but a few of the known white supremacist organizations and publications. Now the only group that they ever try to go after is either Antifa or the Nation of Islam. That's all they really have, because Farrakhan be giving it to them, But I don't care from who the truth comes from. The truth is the truth. If he's saying a lie, then you prove him to be a lie. But I have to go over there and listen to Farrakhan now and then, because this last speech he gave a couple of weeks ago, it wasn't even a couple of weeks ago, I think it was a couple of days ago, right after this. We may not pray the same, but facts is facts on information. So what we're about to see, or what we're going to see that is going on with the next couple of hours, is whether these people actually start dispersing in time. So it's 8:14 p.m. in Brooklyn. So I'm reading backwards, my ability to read backwards. And New York has everybody has a curfew in New York. So I think New York is from 8 to 6. California is from 8 to 5 a.m. Minnesota is from 8 to 6. And that's I'm just saying them off my head because I just remember the times. So we want to, don't get distracted thinking that most of these people are Black people. Don't get distracted in thinking that everyone there is in the best interest. And even if they are in the best interest, they damn sure then can't say, if you want to believe that what you see out there are all in the interest of George Floyd's life, then most people out there are white. Most people out on every one of these protests are white. So you can, At some point, you haven't been listening to us. And I sincerely believe that there are some white folks that are tired of just being caught up in being called a racist when they're not a racist. And so they come out and support. Now, of course, we then can't tell the good from the bad. We can't tell the good from the bad with the infiltrators within our own race. We got some infiltrators too. But for the purposes of what we're doing here, most of those who I've seen so far that have been throwing stuff and busting windows out of police cars actually have been white. Now, you see the black folks talking a lot of smack, walking around the newscasters, but look at the people. I mean, they run up. I don't want to sit and blame all white people either, because this ain't about blame. I mean, definitely the demonstration started by us because it is us who are dying. You have white people that can relate to our dying. And in doing that, you have to give, we can't separate the two. And I could tell you, you'll see how they separate if they start shooting. Because one of the things that the young lady was telling me in Minnesota is that some of those people that were in the back that I told you about, that I saw that were in all black, she said those were police officers. Those were police officers at the back end. Because remember, the whole police station at some point completely empty. That's how they were able to finally get there when I told you at about 11:30 p.m. our time. And to get up on that roof, I'm still trying to figure out, you had ladders? Though you think those people came there with ladders to get on the roof of the police department? Come on, we got to use our common sense on some things. Remember, I told you they got up before they burnt down that police department, they were on the roof. They took time to burn into the roof. Can you see us? Now, that ain't no simple task to actually burn letters big enough to be seen from a helicopter. And then they added in the hashtag George Floyd. So we don't want to get confused with the fact, the fiction, and then the combobulation of both. At some point, the uprising has to have some effect because you got too many white people out there, and I want to see if they're going to start shooting white folks. Because this is not the groups are so mixed. I saw them dragging women, beating women. You go on some of these channels. These cops are ratchet, man. They were punching. I saw them swing a sister over backwards by her arm. I saw them actually pulling this white girl by her hair, and she was holding her ponytail. So these some pussy ass cops right there that beating down women that don't have no weapons in their hands or no spray paint or nothing. They don't move. They whacking you outside your head with those daggone long sticks. So I ain't about getting all bruised up because I'm going with that. I'm not putting myself in no danger. So I got to be able to start to represent half of y'all when this stuff starts to go down. That's what I'm going to do, and keep the voices of because you have to have those who want to beat the street. I'm too old to be out there on the street because ain't nobody going to be doing no hitting on me, all that. Because see, I'm going to the street. I'm going to have to take my own protection because I'm not going to be getting all that beat up and all that nonsense. I'm too old for that. So I'm going to let y'all youngins do all of that running out there on the streets. But when we decide we want to start and have some legal conversations and start doing some changes of things and laws here in New Jersey, I've talked to both some faith leaders in the community, along with the National Action Network. And we're trying to figure out where, at some point, I was called with regards to these two shootings on the Parkway. But so Reverend Sharpton has got, he was first he was in Staten Island, then he had to do his show this afternoon. So we're kind of in between trying to figure out when we all can have actually be in one place at one time to have a discussion. Pastor Barley in Newark at the National Action Network office here in New Jersey. So we have a lot of stuff that we have to do. I'm not quite sure how long they're going to wait to actually just I've been in law a long time, and I know some of you, we watch enough shows on TV. You don't need that much to arrest somebody. Okay, black people get arrested because you look like somebody that somebody said did something. So we saw these four officers with all our thousands and thousands of eyes. There's not enough for an arrest, and the man is dead. You don't need to investigate to see if he's still pulse reading, because they would, when they read his pulse, Chauvin stayed on his neck another 2.5 minutes. So if you're going to say it's not depraved mind. And then I actually, oh gosh, I wish I had taped it. I had the conversation. Somebody has transcribed the conversation. Chavez is saying, "You all right?" And some officer, you can breathe. Stop all that whining like a bitch. That's what they were saying to him while he was laying on the ground crying. That's some cold ass shit. So I'm going to come off because I know everybody's looking at the same thing I'm looking at. And we're going to see how this day is going to end, because this is going to be the showdown for the flow down. Because this right here, if we don't handle it the right way, we will give back Trump this White House. He is depending on us taking our eyes off the fact that 100,000 people have died in coronavirus and still dying and still will die. We haven't even, Biden can't say that much. President Obama's tried to come out there. But see, we got the 45 is the president. So if y'all expecting President Obama to come out and save the day with some, come out with the cape like he Batman, that ain't happening. It ain't happening because it ain't his place to happen. I'm going to be very honest with you. It's not President Obama's place to usurp the president. Except the present president is a jackass and don't know what the F to do, so he ain't doing shit. Now, we have a lot of, black activists, but they can't tell nobody to charge nobody. Barr has already said that these are black activists. I don't know what the hell Barr looking at, but he's already made a judgment call, and he's the head prosecutor in charge. Okay, so all of this is in control of Trump, and I told you, that the head of the beast, and then Barr is the controller of all of that which is illegal, and cloaking it under the federal Department of Law Enforcement. I'm getting so, oh God, I've been talking for seemed like 5 days about this. So what I want us to do is let's see how this night folds out. We have lockdown just about every major city in the country, in just about every state. And the martial law is down in Minnesota and out in California, because that's where the most looting and burning and killing. I think in Louisville killed 7 people night before last. So I haven't got the death count of all of these, because people are dying in the middle of this from different incidents. So they all have to be kind of spread out, and everybody will get an opportunity to see how many people died because of a death. And that's the kind of thing that I was talking about with our protest. Is it our purpose to die in protest? Now, I'm going to die fighting. If it comes down and they start acting crazy, and and everybody got to do their Second Amendment, I'm going down fighting. That's just my position. But everybody don't have the right, don't have guns in their possession, or will be legally right now. If y'all try to go legally get a gun, that's probably not going to happen. If you don't already have one, you're probably not going to get one. And so right now they have outgunned us because they've been getting guns since the beginning of time. So that's where we are. I'm not quite sure how we're going to play this out, but I'm just going to ask for you guys to stay vigilant and just do not take your eye off of anything, because we must support those who are out there. Even in, see how things are going, even in our watching, we all have to see and say the same thing. So when it's time for us to go to vote, I want us to be all in one accord. This here, if you don't have no other reason to vote for this year, If nothing else, be it healthcare, infrastructure, he done took us out of the health accord. So ain't nobody, if we need some healthcare from if we need some more PPE or some ventilators, he done shut that down. In other country, they're going to give us nothing if we don't have everything we're going to have right now. He's cut ties with the climate change all over the world. He's cut ties like we are some island that can survive by itself. Now, it's going to take more than 8 years to repair what he has done in 4. And I'm not quite sure how we're going to survive. Like it's like England right now, a lone country. You done cut yourself off from Europe now. I don't even know, is it another continent? Because, before England was a part of Europe. So I'm not even quite sure what they're doing over there, because their leader got coronavirus. I ain't heard about what happened to him yet. So this is where we are. I'm looking just like you're looking. I'm going to be paying attention like you're paying attention. But I want you guys can do the same thing I do. Check on the active white supremacist groups in the United States right now, and they are on high alert in the state of New Jersey. Europa, I've been talking about for a while. If you've ever followed me, Europa is on college campuses cloaked in suits and ties. Okay? And, I don't know if you guys remember one of my sorority sisters was the first student president at American University in California. American University in Washington, D.C. This black girl, as soon as she was made the first student president, the white races all over the country loaded up on her. They had to give her security and everything. She just won a lawsuit against this white supremacist group. They had bananas with AKA on them all over the school. They had to take her off, put her in a private campus, housing. They gave this sister hell. One of my young sorors, her name's off the top of my head, but she was the first president of the student union at American University in Washington, D.C., which is another mostly white school. Them white folks lost their mind. She just won a lawsuit against them. She's now in law school. They won't even say the law school she's in, because she has still been having threats on her life. That's why I haven't said her name. But with that being said, grace and peace, you guys. I'm going to check you out on the other side. I'm going to take some rest tonight, and I'm going to do some inner self scoping with me and God, and what moves that I think that I need to make in order to make this pandemic has given me an opportunity to stay still in my space, be still with my soul, and really think about the purpose that I have. I will be 59 in 2 months, less than 2 months, on July 20th. And as I get closer to 60, I know that I have lived more years than I have lived. But I want to make sure that whatever God gives me, forth my aunt, I'm going to use my Aunt Rosalie, who's still living, as my gauge. She's 96. And so if God gives me another 40, where my aunt is, that means I've got another 40 to go. So I'm going to use her as my gauge, because she's still talking smack, and still has her right mind. Then I have a lot I can accomplish in 40 years still, and I plan to do so. And I hope that all of you, if I need help, or if it's someone I need support from. Oh, guys, did you see my 30-second commercial? It's gonna be in between shows on BET, on MSNBC, CNN. That's my little 30-second commercial that you're gonna see on TV soon. So I just put a little clip of it. I'm proud of my my just bringing some goodness from my life and my career, I want to make a difference. I want to make a difference to all of you. You guys know that has been that's my lot in life, and I thank you for supporting me and being there, and even listening, because you can listen to anybody you want to. And but yeah, talk to you later. Don't get me all. I don't want to start getting all soft and all that. I even though I'm an alpha female, I'm still soft inside. Love you guys.